Hi friends, today we have another Art Snacks unboxing. This is May's box. I missed April's box because I had too much on and I got round to thinking about doing it and I was like, no, it's a little bit too late in April now to do April's box. So I'm bringing you May's box. Art Snacks have kindly sent me this. I believe this is just, they've introduced now two different boxes. They've got this one and then they've got the plus box, which is larger, and then you get a surface and everything to work on. So I'm interested to see which one I will be getting next month to try out for you guys. But let's see what is in this box. Okay, so this box is pretty much filled to the brim. It's nice to see. So let's just get everything out of here and then we're going to get rid of this box so it's easier to see everything. Okay, so first of all we have our sticker, which is quite a nice pattern. I really love the colours of this. This is really nice. That's going to go on my planner where I've got all of my other Art Snack stickers there. Yes, so the candy is Smarties again. I wasn't fond of this, so I might give this to Simon to try this time. What is this? This is art spray. Interesting. Mixed media acrylic spray. I'm guessing this is purple. There's a video tutorial online, so I might have to watch that. The colour is plum. It is waterproof, just an acrylic spray. I'm guessing this is brightly coloured water-based acrylic spray for light porous surfaces such as canvas, paper, wood, blah, 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 blah. We have a water brush, a faber-castell water brush. I'm not too fond of water brushes, but I like Faber-Castell as a brand, so obviously gonna give my opinions on this guy. This would be really useful for use with my new Albrecht Dürer as well, so this could be part of my kit. We have a surface this time, thank the Lord. Or is this literally just this? Oh, there's two pieces of paper. There's two guys. So we've, oh, three, okay. Okay, nice. So we've got beige, grey and black, heavyweight, 150 GSM, dry media, light wash ink, medium grain finish. There's some quite nice colours there. So at least we have some surfaces to actually work on this time. Thank you, Art Snacks. What is in our special little package this time? Oh, okay. Some more Faber-Castell products and a Spectrum one. I have not used these before. I've seen them. These are Faber-Castell gelatos. I love the colours. They are so pretty. I think these are just like big watercolour like crayons, and then you can use them like a watercolour, but they're like a lipstick basically. But I like the colours of those. And we have the Spectrum marker, which is in the colour sand. I've not used these. Sorry, it's Spectra, not Spectrum. I've not used these before, but I'm liking the shape of the barrel, or whatever you call it. It's quite nice. So I'm just going to read the menu of what we have here. We've got the Faber-Castell gelatos, pigment sticks, yep, with or without water, nice. We've got the watercolour brush pen thing, Spectra AD marker, alcohol based ink, brush nib, and oh, I'm gonna have to look at the nib, so I always forget to do that because I'm not a marker person, so I never know. Then we've got the mixed media spray, and then we've got the paper sample pack. So we've got a nice variety of things this month. Okay, so we've got a standard chisel nib, quite a nice chisel nib there, and then we have our brush tip, which I am hoping is quite flexible because I like them to be like fairly flexible but also slightly firm as well. I'm a little bit of a mixture there. So I'm excited to try out these supplies, and I'm especially excited to try out these gelatos on this black paper. This colour I'm not entirely certain is going to work on these types of paper, especially this beige one, because I'm kind of seeing that that's sort of a similar colour. and I'm interested to see how this art spray goes. So I'm going to test these supplies out in my sketchbook, and I'm also going to select one of these pieces of paper just to see how they work on this surface as well. It's most likely going to be the beige, because that isn't really, I don't like that colour at all. I prefer the grey and the black. So let's see how we get on with all of these. I love these guys, you're gonna be good. So the first thing that I decided to do was just try out the gelatos in my sketchbook. This was just the Strathmore 500 paper in my sketchbook, I think, and the gelatos went down really nice and smooth. They were so good to use. I cannot get over how nice and creamy these are. They're absolutely delicious. And I tried the yellow, came out really nice and bright. The pink, absolutely loved that. The only kind of issue that I had with this one was that it's pink, but the colour name on the barrel is actually lavender, and I was like, this isn't really lavender, is it? But I tried to mix the colours together, trying the pink on top of the yellow to see what kind of colour I would get. It was kind of this nice kind of orange peach, and then I tried the yellow on top of the pink just to see if I could get a different tone, and the tones that you get when layering are a little bit different depending on which way you do it. And then I decided to add some water to these because it said that these were water soluble, and they gave some really nice translucent washes. Really, really gorgeous. The more you let it dry, the kind of more vibrant the wash got, which wasn't really nice as well. Yeah, just really good products to use, all round goodness, nice and creamy. I loved everything about these. The marker was just pretty much a standard marker, just as it says on the tin really, and I tried both nibs. I prefer the brush tip over the other nib. That's just my personal preference. Other people might be different, but I preferred the brush tip. It was kind of firm, kind of flexible, not too different from any other marker that I've used. I also decided to try and use the gelato on top of this just to see how it went down. It went down really nice, and then I mixed it with the water to see what kind of colour combination I could get. Got this nice sort of soft peachy tone, and that was really nice. I forgot to actually use this kind of technique in my finished piece, but just looking back at the footage now, that's quite a nice colour. I then decided to try the art spray. After the first few pumps, it kind of took a little while to get it into the system of the spray, and it just came up this blob. But the spray pattern that this actually came out with was really nice. This is kind of my favourite product. I was really impressed by this. The spray pattern, as I said, is really, really nice. You can get a nice solid concentration in the middle, and then it kind of disperses out a little bit more. But I wanted to also see how this reacted with water, because it was like acrylic paint, and it said on the bottle that you could water this down as well. So just trying out a few different things, just putting like little blobs of water down and then adding the acrylic paint to it and just seeing how it dispersed. Reacted really nicely. It was kind of like using an ink, which was quite nice. After that little play, I decided to see how these products worked on the paper. The gelatos went down on each surface really nice and vibrantly. When trying the marker though, it didn't really show up on the black paper, which I kind of expected, but it did kind of show up on the beige colour, which surprised me a little. So from this little testing, I decided to then go with using the grey and the beige colour papers for my piece, and just use the black piece as a sort of tester. So I just tested out how the colours, the gelatos went down in a nice solid block, and then just seeing how they went down with the water. And I actually decided to use the spray just to see how it reacted with the water, and after letting it dry for a little bit, it kind of really made this nice marble pattern, which was quite nice. So I was putting some thought into what I wanted to create for this. I had absolutely no idea. I decided to draw a whale, as you do, because that's the natural conclusion for this, given the colours as well. But one strip of paper was going to be a little bit too narrow for my liking, so I actually stuck the two pieces together so I had a larger working surface. And it actually turned out really nice because I drew the whale over each half, and through the middle there was just like this two-tone little patch. I'm not sure what else to call it. It actually worked out really nice, and yeah, I was really pleased with that thought process of mine. The box didn't actually come with any graphite or anything, and I didn't feel confident sketching out like with the gelatos or using a watered down mixture, so I actually used a Pentel mechanical pencil from the previous box, the April box, which I didn't actually manage to get anything drawn with, so kind of almost combining two boxes here. But putting graphite down on this paper was really nice. The grain, it said medium grain, but to me it was quite a fine grain. It wasn't really like ridged like you find with like a pastel paper or anything like that. But yeah, it just worked like an ordinary piece of paper with graphite, and erasing on it was actually really nice. The Pentel pencil itself, I'm going to mention this because it was last month's box, that's a really nice pencil to use. Just pretty much like any other mechanical pencil, if I'm honest. But yeah, it went down really nice and smoothly when drawing the outline for this whale. So once the outline was done, I decided to do something a little bit weird and a little bit unnecessary, and I decided to use the gelatos, just using the water brush pen, just to sort of add a sort of watered down outline around the whale, just so I could sort of see it. Because I had this idea of, well, I actually wasn't sure what I was going to do at first, because I wanted to just fill in the whale and do like a kind of galaxy kind of look, and then I thought about it some more, and then it kind of turned into I just wanted to leave the whale sort of plain in the middle, and then decided to add all of the colour around the outside, so it was kind of like a reverse silhouette, I suppose, in a way. But then I decided to just use the gelato sticks, just add them really roughly down around the outside of the whale, blend some together so I could create those really, really lovely peachy tones. I used different combinations of putting the pink down first and then the yellow, and then the yellow down first and then the pink. And I also used the water brush pen to just disperse the edges of each of the yellow and the pink patches a little bit, so you kind of got that sort of translucent effect. I also, this is something that I didn't experiment with in my sketchbook, but I also used the gelatos on top of the wet areas when doing this, and it became really, really smooth, really buttery, and it was incredibly nice to use in that way. So not only did they go down nice on paper without it being wet first, but they also went down incredibly well on top of wet paper, and maybe even came out a little bit more pigmented. I'm not too sure. To me it was a little bit more pigmented, but yeah, it was incredibly nice to use in that way. I continued using that method, and then just using the water brush pen to just blend everything together. I just created these nice blended peachy tones around the very outside of the whale, as well as just straight yellow and straight pink. And then I was like, I can create like a galaxy kind of abstracty kind of vibe by using the art spray. So I used the black sheet of paper that I got to use like as a mask to just protect the whale, and just use that straight edge, and I also used the little menu sheet to do that as well. And the second time that I sprayed, I got an incredibly nice effect. I really love the way that actually turned out. It was so nice. And then for some reason towards the tail end I decided to just start off by playing with some water, like kind of do that kind of dispersion effect. Yeah, that kind of didn't work out as well as I hoped it would, so I ended up just using the spray over the top. There was a large wet patch on the end there, and as it was drying it was kind of doing this mottled thing. Tried to add a little bit of the yellow from the gelato and drop it in, kind of like you do with watercolour when you drop colours in. It wasn't really working either, and there was just this big puddle of water, so I was like, I know, I'm going to use my empty hollow pen and create some sort of blow effect. And yeah, that kind of looked okay, but it didn't really fit the rest of the whale, but I just kind of left it for the time being until it dried. I didn't want to keep working on it whilst it was wet because it's just going to ruin it even more. But I was really pleased with the effect of the background, and I hadn't realised that I hadn't used the marker yet, so I was like, what can I do with this marker, because it's pretty much all done. And then I was thinking and looking at it and thinking, well, the whale does actually need some shading, so I ended up using the Spectra marker to add some shading down to the whale, just using it in multiple layers, layering and layering, trying to get as dark as possible. And that was the addition of the marker. Didn't really have a heavy feature, but it didn't really go with the colours of paper. It wasn't really like pow in your face like the other colours, so it was kind of muted and kind of just went into the background, and didn't really need to add it, if I'm honest, but I did in the end. And I did actually end up using, I think the footage kind of cuts out because my camera stopped, but I did end up using the water brush dipped in some watered down purple acrylic from the spray bottle, and I just painted some more shadows onto the whale just to deepen them. Just went around the outside with the purple as well, just to give it kind of like a sketchy kind of outline, because I was toying with the idea of using a fine liner and combining that, but then I thought nope, it wasn't in this box, so let's just use the acrylic, the purple acrylic, and I really like the outcome of that. And the shadows actually turned out really nice. I layered those multiple times like I did with the marker, so in the end you couldn't really see that there was much of the marker used because it was just covered with the purple paint. But it's there underneath, you know, it made an addition, although you can't see it. But I was really happy with the outcome of this piece. It wasn't anything that I intended to make at all. Usually, you know me, I go for really realistic drawings and interpretations of things, and this was just kind of complete opposite, complete sort of abstract and just doing it as I feel, which is what I really love about getting these ArtSnacks boxes, because it just allows me to do something different and break out of that comfort zone. If you guys want to have a go yourself, use the link below and the code AmieHoward10 to get 10% off your first purchase or your first subscription of ArtSnacks if you feel like it. They are a really good thing to do, I feel personally, because as I said, it breaks you out of that comfort zone, gets you using some different materials, and you also get some sneaky first looks at products as well, which is really good. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed the outcome. What do you think of this whale? Let me know in the comments below. I always love to hear your opinions. And what do you think we have for June's box? I'm really excited to see. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my arty videos, which I release every single week. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!